So this video tutorial is just going to show you how you can create a simple database to use in your lessons, or this video can be used by your students. So the first thing you need to do is create a blank script. So if we create a script, we're going to make sure it's blank, and I'm going to call this database of food. I'm going to create that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is actually set up our table. So if we go to add a new action event, there's something called thing add new record. Now if you click on this, change this to food. So this is going to be our food table. Don't need to call it food table because it might get confusing. But you could get into the habit of naming them properly. So this is a food table. Now you can add your different fields in. So my first one is going to be the item, and that's a string. The next one is going to be the quantity, and that one is a number. Okay, and we're going to add our last one, which is going to be the date and time. And if you go down, there should be a data type for you to use. Let's have a look. I've probably gone past it already. There, date time. Okay, so we've got our table set up. Now what we want to do is add a new record. So rather than have it all here in the main code, we're going to get into the habit of doing our functions that we did before. So if I go in and add one in, go to going to give it a name. So this one's going to be add new record. So the first thing we need to set up is our variable. So we're going to set up a variable, click on wall, and we want it to ask for a string, which is going to say which item. Alright, and that will store that in S. Again, variable wall ask string how many, and the next one we don't need to ask the actual time for because it will store it itself. So if I go to var, and this is our foods, okay, we're going to store foods in our food table, and we're going to add a row. So foods is the item, is the row. So if I go each time now and go to foods, I can item, I can set. So the first one is item, and I'm going to set it using S. If you look here, it's going to use that variable. Again, I'm going to go to foods, but this time it's the quantity. I'm going to set it using S2, but we need to make sure we convert it to a number so that the database can read it. And the last one is foods, date time, set. What you can do is actually use set, time, and now. So that will add in some items. So let's run that. In fact, let's go to main and make sure our function's here. So code, add new record. So let's run that now. Which item? Banana. Click OK. How many? 3. Click OK. So I've added 3 bananas in. Let's do that again. This time tomato. How many items are we going to add in? 5. Click OK. So I've added in two rows into my database, but I can't see them. So what I'm going to do is create another way of viewing it. So if I go to add another function, we're going to this time call this view records. Now what I need to do is see each item. So what I'm going to do is go for each item in the food table. Alright. What I can do is view the item and post it to the wall. Let's run this. In fact, let's go back to main. Let's get rid of this for a second and view records. And now when I run it, you can see there's my 5 tomatoes, there's my 3 bananas, and those are the records that have been added in. So I've basically said in view records, for each item in the table, if there is one, show me it by posting it to the wall. Now you can do this in lots of different ways. You can add each item to an array or a list, but that's just a quick demonstration of how to set up a database, how to add the records, and how to view them. So you can do a lot more of that in future tutorials.